Hi, this is Topher. In this video, I'm going to show you how to build an online quiz using the JetFormBuilder from CrocoBlock. Let's get started. I'm starting with a vanilla install of WordPress. I have the Cadence theme installed and JetFormBuilder, and that's it. We'll go to JetFormBuilder and add new. And first we're going to give it a title. Then from our form patterns, we're actually going to start from scratch. The first block in our form is informational, and we're not going to change anything in it. It just needs to be here so that the form can be self-aware. It comes with a text field that I don't want to use. You could use this to take the name of the person filling out the quiz. I want my quiz to be anonymous, so I don't need this one. So I'm simply going to delete it. Now, before we get too far, we're going to set up a few things on the form itself. So in the right bar, we're going to go down to Enable Form Pages Progress. And this allows you to have a form that is not one giant form, but different sections can appear at a time. You can change anything else you want over here. I'm not going to because I like the defaults. It saves the form record so you can see how people do. Now, the first field we're going to add is an advanced choices field. So this is going to be questions. And we can do text or images with description or images with controls. And I want controls. And let's click block over here. Now, the first thing we want to do is give this a label. It's going to be the question. And you can put it in here in the block or over here on the right in this field, text field. I'll paste it right here in the block. What is the largest continent in the world? And you'll see that it auto-populated the one on the right here. Then we need to give it a form field name. And it auto-populates that as well, but it's really long. We want something shorter. So I'm going to just trim that right down. And I'm not going to put in anything else. But now let's set up our answers. Let's choose some images, then put in some answers. Then we need to put in some answers for the form itself. So the value for this answer is going to be Asia, but the value for calculated field is going to be a 0 because that's the wrong answer. So the calculated field adds up points basically to figure out how you did at the end of the quiz. So then we do Africa, which is the right answer, so we give it a point. And then Europe, which is again a wrong answer, so we give it a 0. And then normally we would make a next button, but what we want to happen is for the act of answering this to be the next. And so right here, the block we've chosen is the top one for advanced choices field. And we're going to click this button and then it will process a next action. So now we want to put in a page break. And right here is form page break. And normally it makes a next button, but in this case we don't want to because, as we just mentioned, we made the click action up here be the next. So over on the right, we're going to undo enable next button, but give it a label of progress. So this is going to be the first question. Then after this form break, we need to put in the answers. So the first one we're going to put in is a conditional block. Now inside this block, you can put anything. So if you have a correct answer, you could put in an animated GIF of somebody celebrating, or a JavaScript confetti, or something simple as the word correct. And I will make mine green. But now we need to do the conditions. So we click here, and then these arrows, and we say show if the field largest continent in the world is equal to Africa. Ooh. But you got to spell it right or it will fail. And there we go. But now we want to make another one for when it fails. And we'll say incorrect and make it red and set its conditions. And we'll choose to show this field with a condition if largest consonant in the world does not equal Africa. So we're going to make one more page break before we test this. And the next button is going to say second question, but the label of progress is going to say first answer. So let's hit publish and we'll go to a page. I have one here that's mostly empty, and we'll put in a form. And over on the right, we choose which form. And we enable form pages progress. Oh, no, we don't need to because we did it elsewhere. So let's hit save and view page. So there's our first question. And we'll choose Africa. And there's our first answer. And we'll go to second question, which we haven't done yet. So let's do that now. So we'll do another advanced choices field. And we'll choose images with controls. And let's put in our question. And I'll put it right here with the label. On what continents does Turkey lie? And we're going to use the same continents that we did before. So I just have to build them again. And we'll put in Asia, Africa, and Europe. Then we will put in our values. It is in Asia. It is not in Africa, but it is in Europe, which, again, we need to spell right. Now, then we also need to allow multiple choices. And because we have multiple choices, we don't want it to auto-advance when someone clicks one thing, because they need to be able to select more. So now we need form page break. And we will write in here, second answers, and over here, second question. So now we need another set of answers. So I'm actually going to just drop a paragraph in there, and I'm going to come up here and select both of these and paste them right here. And now I have the formatting right for the results. I still need to adjust the conditionals. So we want to show correct if the field on what continents in the list, Asia, and in the list, Europe. Update. Then incorrect. We need show if largest continent in the world. No, we don't want that one. Is in the list, we'll leave Asia. We'll say update and save. And we'll take a look at what that looks like. So now we have largest continent in the world is Africa, correct? Second question, let's say Asia and Europe. Then for our incorrect conditional logic, we will show if on what continents does Turkey lie in the list Africa. So let's save that and we'll go test this. The largest continent in the world is Africa. Second question, on what continents does Turkey lie? Asia and Europe? Correct. Now let's reload and try and make it wrong. Asia is the largest. No. Asia and Africa are the continents in which Turkey lies? No. All right. Now we want to make these, we're looking at answers here, but it says last page. So what we want to do next is, below this, put in a form break. And the button will say scores, but the label will say second answers. Now that we have our conditional logic all worked out, let's make the next steps. We're going to want form page break. And this will be called C scores, but our label of progress is second answers. So then next we're going to put in a block called calculated field. And our score, our label will be scores. And then we're going to put in some placeholders. We want to add up the values of the largest continent question and on what continents does Turkey lie. We didn't give it a short thing. So we're going to put in that and then a plus and then that. So let's hit save and reload. Let's do it all right. Asia and Europe. C scores. So we have 3 points because each correct answer had a 1 in it. Now our progress bar says last page at the end, and we don't want that. So what we're going to do is below the submit button, actually I'll put it here and then move it. We're going to do one more form page break, and we're not going to give it a button, but our label is going to be scores, and we're going to put it below the submit button, and we'll take off that next button, and we'll hit save and reload. Now you can see the last step says scores. So there's Africa. We'll get this one wrong, and C scores, and there we are. Now, how you actually score is up to you. You can give different numbers of points to different questions, that sort of thing. And you should be clear on your quiz up above, just write in plain text how they're scored. You say the best is 3, and a failing is 0, obviously. And then now that we're done here, we can click submit, and it says form successfully submitted. And that's how you make a quiz with JetFormBuilder.